All right, so William has a great question on how to hand it in when he's done, how to record the animation part. And again, this is a brand new thing and it's actually not on my project page, but this is the best way to do it. The cool thing is you can do this with any Sketchfab model, even if it's not yours. Okay, let me switch my screen so we can see it. Okay, so William had the question. Let's jump onto his screen. Okay, so he's got this nice rock golem guy that he has already published onto Sketchfab. By the way, William, congrats for getting that far. It looks great. So one of the brilliant new things about Sketchfab is they have this thing called the GIF exporter. So you no longer need to use a screen recording software and rotate around your model while you're recording a video of it and put it on YouTube. It can be much more accessible for people to view it if you just make it a GIF file, especially with just a simple turntable spinning around your model. That's really all you need. Now, if William had animated this guy and was actually making a full-fledged animation, then it would be better to go ahead and render it out as a video file to put on YouTube. But for this project and just for showcasing models, I think this is actually a better way to do a turntable. So all you have to do is go to labs.sketchfab.com. And this is kind of like all of their experimental features of Sketchfab. A lot of cool stuff in here. Feel free to explore. But what we're talking about today is the GIF export feature. So before you do this, William needs to make sure he has his model set up the way he wants. And what I mean is the view of it, like exactly where it is on screen, the angle it's looking and all that, how close it is, everything. So get it all set with your 3D settings and then save it that way. Because whenever you put this thing into the GIF exporter, it's going to spit it out just as it is. So make sure you have everything how you want it. Do you, William? Okay, cool. So I'll go ahead and exit, get out of here. All right, so all we need is this link up at the top of his model. So I'll go ahead and copy that. Just right click and copy or Control C. So now back here on this experimental GIF exporter, you want to click Load 3D Scene over here on the right. And then it's got a spot for From URL. So click that. And then Control V as in Victor to paste. Load that in. And it's going to pull up his Snowlum. Okay. So just zoom in slightly. All right. So then you want to set the duration for how long it's going to do it. 10 seconds is usually a good idea. But depending on where you're putting this, you might have a limitation for how big your GIF file can be. So you may have to re-export it later if it's too big. But I usually start with 10 seconds at the default resolution. So hit render. And you'll see it start to spin his model around and churn out an animated turntable GIF of it. Any second now. And one of the great things about GIF files is that you can put it right into your Evernote and I will get to see it animated immediately, which is great. And that's something I'm going to start putting as a requirement on all my projects. Since this is brand new, I don't think I'm going to have it as a requirement just yet. All right, so I'm going to create a little space in William's Evernote here so we can put that GIF at the top. And you should always put like a space between your stuff here. Real quickly, William, and this is another thing that people have a mistake on all the time, is accidentally putting the JPEG of your 3D coat file in instead of the actual 3D coat file. Okay, so pay attention to the extension at the end of the file. If it ends in .jpeg, that is not something I need. Okay, so I'm going to actually delete that out, and I want you to put the 3B file in there. Now, that was from your Google Drive, right? So you need to put the 3B file in your Google Drive, and then get the public link to that to put in your Evernote, because your 3B file is most likely too big to fit into Evernote, and that's why you have to do it that way. Okay, so he's actually in his Google Drive right here, aren't you? Let's see. Yeah, so let's just go to drive.google.com. Oops, did not mean to open that. Okay, so he just needs to redrag his 3B file into here and then copy the link and put it into there. And I think that we have our GIF exported already. So now we can drag that into our Evernote. And it probably saved it in the downloads folder, but we can just click at the bottom. There it is. And it looks like it's 15 megabytes. So that's going to be too big to drop into Evernote. You really want to keep it under 10 megabytes for almost every situation. So let's drop the resolution down. We can try one of these here. 320 by 180. Re-render that. Encoding and downloading. So now we have a new one, Snowlum parentheses 1. And that is only 4 megabytes, so we should be good now. Okay, so now I can just drop that one right into my Evernote. There it is. So since we still have that other one, let's see what it looks like by dropping it right into Chrome. Drop that right in there and hit enter. Nice. And this is seamlessly looping, so he'll just spin around forever, which is great. And that's kind of far off, and to see the detail, you might have wanted to zoom in some so that when it spins around, you see all the detail. But that's totally up to you. You're welcome. Yeah, and feel free to experiment with the other features on the labs page. There's a lot of cool stuff on here. One of which you may be interested in is you can make your own flipbook, like a printed out flipbook of your model. So let's go ahead and do this while I'm here. Download flipbook. So that's going to give you like a one-page printout where you can print this out and make it into a flipbook. So you can show someone the turntable without a computer. So I'll go ahead and hit print. And it's ready for you in the printer room, William.